M43 Spanish Mauser. It's got the side swivel and it's got the bottom swivel. That's nice. This is a matching numbers gun here. It's got the additional bayonet, which I've got it and I forgot to bring it, but anyways. So this is the original bayonet lug right here. This one has the additional one for the Spanish Mauser right here. It does not have a front sight cover, so they didn't require one. They didn't like it. This is an extremely well-built gun. This thing is so stout and sturdy. Yep. So it's based basically on the Gewehr 98, the German model. This one has a straight bolt instead of a turn bolt. So the stock is a little different, but the bolt is identical and can be interchanged. The curved bolt, I don't know if the bolt itself, the handle, would hit the side of the stock. You might have to cut this out to make it work, but for sure this would work on a Gewehr 98. Absolutely. And anyways, so the bolt works the same. It comes out the same way. It's a large ring, so you could change the barrels out if you wanted to. This is a Spanish copy. So see, they did something long before the Chinese, but they paid for a patent. They didn't steal nobody's idea, but they paid for it. But either way, they went ahead and made an identical, almost duplicate of the Gewehr 98. Just as strong, just as powerful, and just as sturdily built as the Gewehr 98. So the proofs, everything. So the Germans obviously taught them and took tooling over there and helped them build this gun, which is a super nice gun. This one's built in 1947. That makes it 74 years old. And that's a freaking old gun, and it works. It works great. So in a minute I'm going to shoot it before it gets too dark. But I'm just telling you, man, if you're collecting guns, don't think that this fine specimen of a Spanish gun, and if I have my glasses on, I think it says La Coutura and or Corona, something like that, but de Fabrique, and that's made in Spain, which is basically like a state away from Germany, right? So think about that when you think about a different country. You know, they're just a hop, skip, and a jump away. So if you lived in Detroit and you wanted to come down to Kentucky, it's about that far. That's about the difference, the distance, and those two countries. There's like our states is their countries. So don't think because it's in Spain it ain't as good as it was in Germany, because they're just right next door almost. The same steel, I'm sure, came from the same suppliers. But anyways, this is a mighty fine gun. I have to stand up. Yeah. Anyways, I have to stand up, so that's what I got to do. Can't sit down too long. And but this has a sling whatever you call it. Anyways, with your sling attachment, both on the side and on the bottom. That is freaking awesome. Same thing up here, side and bottom. So you can carry this however you want to. This is a powerful gun. It's 8mm. It tells you right on here, 8mm. They also made these in 308 caliber for NATO when they joined NATO. So you can also find these in 308. They converted them. It's a M, I forgot what it's called, the M something, or FR, something like that. They changed the numbers and initials. But a lot of these older Spanish Mausers, they converted over to 308 NATO. This one has a 3-lug bolt like the Gewehr 98, so it's a little stronger than the original Spanish Mausers were, the ones that was sent to South America. But yeah, this is a little stronger, you know. But the 8mm, this handles it just fine. And if you look at the 8mm, it's a larger bullet, a little less powder than the 30-06. But it's shooting a lot more lead down, you know, heavier load down the range. So this is still a powerful gun. And you know, people think about, well, if it's got less powder, it'll be less powerful. That is not the case, man. It depends on the kind of powder that you use, but in general, sure, it's a little bit slower maybe than a 30-06. Possibly, I don't know. This has got a Spitzer bullet, but if I'm using hunting bullets, I promise you, in most of the United States of America, unless you live way out west, trying to shoot across the Great Divide, this one here will reach out anywhere you need it to. Let me tell you that. Especially if you live in wooded areas like this. You don't need anything like this powerful, actually. But this would take down a moose. This would take down a mountain lion. This would take down a black bear or a grizzly bear. This would take up anything, any threat in the United States, the upper or lower, in other words, Alaska or down here. This would take care of any threat to you, period. That's why I really love these guns. So, and again, they make them in Germany. They made some in Yugoslavia. They made different, you know, different countries made these 8mm Mausers. And it's my favorite. I did have an Argentine Mauser. It had its own special bullets, you know, that was that size, whatever it was, Argentine. And anyways, it's a fine gun too, man. I love that gun. It was slicker than this one. It was a Navy gun actually, but it was a very well built gun. And I love these things, man. If you can find these reasonable, I'm gonna say if you can find one under 500 bucks, I mean, you only know your own bank account. It doesn't really matter the price you pay for a gun. I hear people talking all the time about prices of military surplus. Whatever, dude. If you're not a gun flipper, who really cares, man? If you enjoy this thing, if I paid $1,000 for this gun and I really liked it, it's worth $1,000 to me, you know? I'm going to spend that money on something. If I spend it on something that I really enjoy, like this gun, it's all the better. So that's all you got to remember, man. Stop thinking about, well, you know, so-and-so paid $250. I don't care what he paid, you know. Get the best deal you can, but you can't be locked into thinking that, man. If this is something you want and this one's in fine shape, it's good enough for me. You know, and I can tell you I paid under $5, but I would have paid $5 if this is what I want. 8mm. You can't buy no German gun. You ain't gonna buy one for $500. So this is the identical copy. It's identical almost to the German Gewehr 98. So this is my substitute. And anyways, like I say, you ain't gonna find one of those for 500 bucks in no kind of shape. So this is a fine gun. Now we're gonna shoot this thing because again, it's gonna be too dark here in just 1 second, but I want you to kind of get an idea of what this thing will do. If I can find my earplugs right here, then I'll be happy. Let me put these babies in because I already got hearing problems. I'm half deaf already, so let's try to save what little bit of hearing I got without having more tinnitus. Who wants that crap? I got it, but I don't want it. All right, now I'm gonna stand back a little bit because I want you to see the fire coming out of the end of this bad boy. In fact, I'm gonna take a few steps up right here and I'm gonna squat down. So I'm a little farther away. I know you can get this in the camera, I hope. Here we go, up, back, up, up. There we go, ready to fire right there. Now, I think I see a mountain lion. Maybe a couple of coyotes. I'm not sure. Of course, the way it's coming, it could be a big old black bear with some sharp teeth and claws. So let's go ahead and try to dispose of that threat. Are you ready? Because I am. I hope that you saw that. And I hope you heard it. So, anyways, that was one round down the range. Want to try it again? Let's do one more time, because I didn't notice if any fire was coming out the end of that barrel or not. Let's try it again. There's the bullet. There we go. What did I do? Oh, there's a failure right there of some kind. Let me try this again. Nope. That ain't gonna work. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I don't know what I did wrong. Let's see if there's a bullet up in there. You can't, oh, that's scary. Because he's running towards me. Oh, let's try it again. That, forward, down. Yes. One more time. Let me, oh, I think he's over there now. There we go. Yeehaw. Hey, you can't pussyfoot around with these things. When you want to lock and load it, you lock and load it. Don't play like I did a minute ago. So I don't know what I did wrong. That was totally user error, and that could happen with any gun. So just know that. You can't play around with these things. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, this is the last round hold open. It holds it open on the last round, so I know that I'm empty. Just so you know that. Anyways, there you go. I actually think I might feel some heat off this bad boy. I don't know. But anyways, till next time, 8mm.